When I was younger, I always used to imagine what I would change if I could go back in time. For a start, I wouldn't say or do all of those stupid things I did when I was an idiot and didn't know any better. Realistically though, I'd probably stuff everything up and it would end up like the alternate 1985 and Back to the Future. That's more or less the focus for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, going back and fixing what you didn't get right the first time. Just before we get started, I think it's a great idea to use time travel to revisit old storylines. It's not quite as cheap as just making a play out of the original books. You're literally taking a trip down memory lane, except it's being done in a clever new way. That said, it really confused me at times, which doesn't take much. And I'm not sure it always makes sense either. In their defense, time travel must be really hard to get right in stories because there are so many different paradoxes you've got to watch out for. For instance, Looper with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it has a really cool concept, but then it ends up breaking its own rules just for the sake of a really cool finale. And also, Doctor Who has apparently seen the fall of Atlantis at least half a dozen times. Cursed Child comes a cropper of this as well because it kind of goes against its own logic. Namely, The Prisoner of Azkaban shows that we can't change time, it's already happened. Like Hermione throws a rock or something into Hagrid's hut which gets Harry, Ron and Hermione away before the Executioner and the Minister of Magic turns up. They think they need to go back and change the past, but actually they already have, which is confusing. A more specific example would be Harry saving himself with the Patronus so he can then go back in time and save himself with the Patronus. My head hurts! Except here, they're able to change everything by saving Cedric Diggory in the Triwizard Tournament. Things only start to unravel as a result, both in the story and outside of it. Surely, if they go back in time and change things, then their timeline will no longer exist, and so they'll no longer go back in time, and so they shouldn't exist, and it's just a really messy paradox. Alternatively, wouldn't there theoretically be two Albuses and two Scorpiuses? So there's the version that came from the normal timeline, which is our characters, and then the others who grew up in this alternate timeline. The newer versions wouldn't need to go back, and so, in theory, there would be two different versions of these characters running around. The ones who changed the past, and the others who didn't. It's what you call the grandfather paradox. If you go back in time and then kill your grandparent, then you in theory wouldn't have been born, so you couldn't go back and kill your grandparent. And it just keeps getting messier and more confusing the further you go. If you go back and undo the changes you made like Albus and Scorpius do, then surely you wouldn't need to go back and undo the changes, so your current self shouldn't exist. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments. Alternatively, follow me on Twitter @TheWordyBen, and I will hopefully talk to you soon.